Do you find yourself feeling sad lately, like something's missing in your life, like a Horcrux has been destroyed? Well, you may be experiencing PSTD, a clinical condition known as post-Stranger Things depression. The Duffer Brothers Netflix sensation Stranger Things has enthralled thousands of viewers with its loving homage to the 1980s and all things synth. But what do you do after finishing all the episodes of Stranger Things? I mean, sure, you can wait for a second season, but right now that feels a lot like waiting for Godot. So today on the Dan Cave, I'm gonna recommend a bunch of movies that will fill that Stranger Things-shaped hole in your heart. The Goonies. I mean, in a way, Stranger Things is like a much more serious version of the Goonies. Think about it, tight-knit groups of adventurous kids on a quest against impossible odds. Like, it really adds up. And I mean, sure, the Goonies are looking for long-lost treasure, and the Hawkins gang is looking for a missing friend, but the similarities are pretty undeniable. The Goonies crew may not play D&D, but it definitely seems like something they would be into, right? And if you need a riotously fun adventure with the best use of truffle since Parmesan fries came around, look no further. The Last Starfighter. Average teenager Alex Roken finally gets the high score in his favorite arcade game, Starfighter, only to learn that it was secretly a recruitment tool to find pilots to go fight an intergalactic space war. You know, that old chestnut. That old Ernest Cline ripped off this plot for his second novel, Chestnut. And if you were super into the video game playing, D&D loving, pop culture obsessive kids of Stranger Things, then you're probably gonna have a good time with The Last Starfighter, which made perhaps the most compelling case ever for staying indoors and playing video games until your eyes dried out. Because hey, you might just save the world, baby. Carrie. It's hard to watch Stranger Things without seeing a little bit of Brian De Palma's Carrie in 11. I mean, Sissy Spacek's Carrie and 11 both have crazy mental powers, they both have disturbing sheltered childhoods, they both have Matthew Modine for the worst father ever. Okay, maybe that's just Elle, but Brian De Palma's 1976 adaptation of Carrie is a haunting, thrilling film that might just be the ultimate example of being careful about who you make fun of in high school, especially if you dump pig's blood on them, because then they're gonna ruin prom for everyone. Firestarter. The other half of the psychically charged coin that is Elle is Mark L. Lester's Firestarter, and lo and behold, it's another movie based on Stephen King's story about a little girl with terrifying powers. This time, Drew Barrymore stars as a little girl who develops pyrokinesis, the ability to control fire with her mind, and a government agency wants to control her. Oh, and there's psychic power to induce nosebleeds too. Sound familiar? Watch it, you're gonna dig it. Monster Squad. Want even more of a group of enterprising youths battling against terrifying monsters to save the world as we know it? Well, look no further than Monster Squad, Fred Dekker and Shane Black's horror comedy featuring Count Dracula assembling a spooktacular Avengers of Universal monsters, including the Wolfman, the Gill-Man, the Mummy, and Frankenstein's monster. Now, not only does the film assemble the Universal monsters for some over-the-top fun, but it taught us all an important lesson about Wolfmen. Altered States. If you vibed with the scenes where Elle hopped into a sensory deprivation chamber to travel to the Upside Down, then you will love Ken Russell's mind-melting Altered States. The sci-fi horror flick sees William Hurt as a professor of abnormal psychology who experiments with drugs and a sensory deprivation chamber to supremely trippy effect. Seriously, things get real weird, real fast. Let the right one in. If I said tween vampire movie, you'll probably think of Twilight, am I right? But there's a better way, namely the Swedish film Let the Right One In. Set in the 1980s, it follows a lonely 12-year-old kid who meets an 11-year-old girl named Ellie with incredible powers who saves him from bullies. Holy shit, you guys, it's the same shit. No, okay, no, it's different. She's a vampire. She's a vampire, it's way different. Anyway, it's a spooky sweet story of friendship that will alternately leave you frightened and fulfilled, and seriously, if you get the choice, watch the Swedish one. Akira. Futuristic motorcycle gangs, two best friends torn apart, psychic powers, and creepy-ass kids that look like Benjamin Button banged the California Raisins. That's right, Akira has it all. There are plenty of parallels to Stranger Things in Katsuhiro Otomo's 1988 cyberpunk classic. It's one of the most important animated films of the modern era, because not only did it channel socio-political generational conflict in Japan into a thrilling visceral story of friendship, alienation, and identity, but it changed the way that anime was made in Japan and perceived in the West. I mean, seriously, just watch this film already if you haven't seen it. And please tell me, why are those kids so gross? They're terrifying. I mean, get some moisturizer. Rad. All right, look, this might not have inspired Stranger Things, but It's got kids riding bikes to save their town from evil, which in this case is a team of BMX cyclists, but whatever, it's close enough for me. The 1986 classic Rad is an awesomely bad treasure with teenager Crew Jones competing in the ultimate BMX race Hell Trek to earn $100,000 to provide a better future for his family. And plus, there's a prom scene where people dance on bicycles in slow motion, and a weird romantic scene where they go ass sliding, which is apparently what they call riding a log flume into the lake fully clothed. I don't know, teens are weird. Under the Skin. I mean, sure, I could tell you to watch John Carpenter's The Thing, and you should because it's incredible, but I also think you'll dig Jonathan Glazer's Under the Skin. It's a film starring Scarlett Johansson as an alien disguised as a human female who drives around Scotland, seducing men, luring them into her van, and then taking her horny prey back to this weird black room where she basically absorbs their life essence. It's creepy, it's cool, it's terrifying, and Scarlett Johansson actually drove around Scotland with hidden cameras, picking up random dudes on the street. That is a true story. And there's the shot of this baby on a beach. It's the single most haunting thing I've seen in the last several years. It literally shook me to my core. Watch this movie, man. The Mist. What happens when you combine Stephen King, Frank Darabont, and inclement weather in a Maine town? You get The Mist, baby! The 2007 sci-fi flick follows a group of people who get trapped in a small-town supermarket when a creepy mist rolls into town, bringing giant insectoid monsters with it. Well, I mean, technically the government brought them with a secret project that opened a portal to another dimension, but hey, who's counting? This movie also has one of the most brutal f***ing endings of all time, and I absolutely love it. Oh, also, watch it in black and white if you can. I think it's on the Blu-ray, and then get ready to be super uncomfortable. You're gonna be squirming. You're gonna be squirming. And there you have it, folks. Which of these films is your favorite? What others would you add to this list? Let me know in the comments below and give me a strange thumbs up while you're there. Ugh. Be sure to like and subscribe, or else you might miss next week's pulse-pounding episode where we talk about the story of a young Chinese girl who disguises herself as a male soldier and winds up fighting dinosaurs in a faraway land in Mulan of the Lost. Until next time, keep on digging. Let's open up the old mailbag, shall we? At Brian Jr. asks, what's your favorite Ghost Rider? Haha, easy, Nicolas Cage. At Marcus Luera asks, if Suicide Squad underperforms at the box office, which it might, how screwed is the DCEU? Well, it won't be screwed. I mean, if anything, underperformance might make them think long and hard about how they approach future films, but something tells me that Suicide Squad is gonna make its money back and then some, regardless of what critics say. So, there you have it. At Riz Brian asks, if you had the option, parentheses, ability, to eat your weight in any food, what would it be? Oh man, it's a good one. I mean, you'd probably expect me to say pizza considering what I'm surrounded by right now, but I'm gonna go with sushi. And if I had to get more specific, I'd probably say like a nice otoro, which is this delicious fatty tuna. And great, now I'm starving, man. I haven't had breakfast, I haven't had lunch. Now I just want sushi, man. That's gonna be expensive. Do you know how much I weigh? That's a lot of tuna. Anyway, what would you guys eat your body weight in? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.